There's so many freaking tech things going on. So thank you all for your patience, for waiting. Today, this is the Trinity show that we always do, except for on this day, Todd Medina is otherwise engaged. And so it's going to be a trinity of three women. So today we're as always joined by Elsa Dillon of Spin Beings. Welcome, Elsa, and today's Stacey. Am I saying your last name or not? Not. Stacey's here as well from the UK. And so anyway, welcome. What's going on, ladies?
And how are you doing?
I can keep talking.
Oh, sorry. I'm just like I was like Pamela for a minute in the land of computers checking everything. I'm okay. It's been a weird week. I know I always come on saying it's a weird week, but it gets weirder. And so we're here. I didn't even know if I would be able to sit up today. Yeah. So it's how are you guys going?
There's been downloads going. Oh, go ahead, Stacey, please. I was just trying to get you off the hook by letting you not have to talk if you didn't want to. Go ahead.
I just wanted to validate Elsa. No, same. Weird week, weird ups, activations, codes, downloads, and they're so fast. I tried to scribble some before we came on just to try and recoup some of the things that have been happening, but maybe you guys will trigger memory patterns and things, and I'll be able to hop on board.
All right. Well, I'm going to jump in then. First of all, hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you all for joining. I see that Zeta's here. Kenny's here. We have Wave Dreamer. Welcome, everyone. Wave Dreamer's from the UK. Love and Light from the UK. Welcome. I've been having this throat activation. So I actually took Stacey's throat activation over. We were talking on the phone and she was having throat stuff. Hers got relieved as mine became. So I have a different voice right now. There's a lot happening right now. So I think it's a good idea to talk about this. Just let's blanket it real quick. Many people, everybody noticed the corridor. The corridor I'm talking about is the different eclipses that we had, and I agree with many voices that say that we put too much credence and importance on these different astrological planetary events. This is true. Dates and things like that are very activating and code related, though we don't have to overinvest in these things. However, there is something there that we can definitely all agree on. Chicken, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Is it important because we've made it important? Or is it important because we acknowledge its importance because it is important already on its own? Who knows? I can say that we had a solar eclipse on the new moon that was on the 14th, the day after Friday the 13th. And the day before that was the big density download thing that happened. And, so on and so forth. So we went through this corridor and everybody, many people were just like, you kind of felt like you were at that last stretch. So you're kind of like crawling to the finish line of just like water, we kind of felt like that. And so when we got to the end into the 28th, after the peak of the 22nd or 24th, I believe, then there was this big relief for a lot of people. A lot of us were like, in this lunar eclipse, this release energy, it was the day of unburdening, I think is what I called it that day. There's just this awesome stuff that happened for me and since then. Every day has gotten better and better, energetically speaking. It's been easier to do energy work. It's easier to notice code. It's downloads are more efficient. They don't consume me as much, as well as they don't exhaust me as much as they used to. Every day it's getting easier and easier to do this work. And then I hear that most people shouting out that it's really hard right now and that they're really, really struggling. So now we're in today. So I'm just fast forwarding now to this moment. I've been on this like super duper high this whole time, like of happiness high, like so high up there that like, like I'm just like, skipping and, just all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm suddenly an extrovert. I'm no longer an introvert. I've trekked all the way across the country, and I'm in Houston, Texas now, of all places, and it's a beautiful place to be. And however, today when I woke up, actually in the night last night, I noticed that there was a little bit more of a balancing, I could say. You could call it more of a little bit of a dip where the energy just kind of went. It wasn't like, wee! It was more like, wow, this is cool. Like that's still really good. However, then I started hearing a lot of other voices, all of you emailing, texting, different phone calls and things like that, that there's quite a bit of people in that are struggling right now, particularly starting 2 days ago. And so anyway, that's the world in that I perceive. What's it look like for you ladies, and noticing these different things? I know that a lot of us are going through different activations and stuff.
You
Am
want
I
to
going
go
to
first, Elsa?
go?
We should do it, Elsa, Stacey, Pamela, Elsa, like that,
like
and then we can
spinning.
just
So I had the Trinity show last week, and just before the Trinity show, I got bitten on my head, and you know how when you get a bite, well, I think it was a bite, but it just got bigger and bigger on my head here. And I asked the kids, it was a few after hours after the Trinity show, I asked the kids, can you have a look at what's going on my head, right on the crown here? They take a photo and they go, you're not going to believe this. And I went, really? What now? It's it's like a triangle on my head, and they measured it because they found it entertaining. So they take a photo, and I was like, is that what my head looks like up there? And then they started measuring from each point to each point, and I go, oh no, we've done this before. This is because I got a delta mark before my back broke, and I was like, okay, right. I'm not going to dismiss the triangle this time, because last time I kind of went, oh, that's cute, whereas this time I'm going, okay, I'm going to really listen to the triangle this time. Then what happened is like Lyme's disease, which I've had before, went down all down my right ear here, all down my neck. So I couldn't feel my whole half of my head. So it's like, okay, so you have the physical side of it. Okay, now go into the silly upside down world of Elsa and go into the medical physical side of it. They've shut down half of my body on this side, the crown. They shut it down on the physical side, and they've created a numbness in there. So I've gone, okay, I'll sit with this. Then Richard said, can you? He massaged it and drained it down, which a lot of people have suggested to do with your nodes. And then the next day I woke up and it was my nymph node right behind here. I'm going, really, nymph? And I'm going, so see how now the pain has turned into, okay, I'm gonna sit with you. I'll give you the respect you need, but I'm also going to look for the playfulness in it. And through the playfulness in it, I lift my ions. I know it sounds silly, right? But I've literally healed myself, because last time I had Lyme's disease, I had it for 6 months. And so this time it's come through and it's processed through me quickly, and I've listened to the messages of it. Yeah. And now it moves through me. Whereas if I ignored the calling, the messages, they go, okay, we're going to hang around a bit longer. I'm like, no, you're not. So I'm sort of sharing this because if other people are having, which Pamela has just said, because you think you're going through it just by yourself, and then you hear Pamela say, by the way, everyone's feeling it, and you go, oh. So if I'm able to do this, you're able to do it. Right. So if you're having a pain in a certain spot, look what the calling or the message is for you, because it will be very specific for you, nobody else, and just work through it and see if this is a new way of healing yourself. Because this takes it to a whole new level for everyone, right? You become your master.
I just remembered I'm not recording this. Sorry. No, it records automatically.
Ah!
Technology's not my friend right now. Elsa, wow, what an amazing story. So that's like less than half the time that it took last time to heal the same thing.
Well, so, you show up as an example. And the kids were like last night, because I was walking around like this last night. It really hit hard last night. I don't know what happened, but from lunchtime yesterday, it's like it did a resurface and my whole head went like this. And I looked like one of the pets when they're in pain, they hold their head down on the pain side. And I actually had to go to bed really early, like at 4 o'clock or something, and just keep my head down. So I was like, are you really grounding me? Come on. And they're like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I thought, okay, look at it from a non-human perspective. And this is what was similar with the back, and also, with falling pregnant with some of the children. They made me lie flat. It's like your ions have to lie flat. And I know this is a thing Pamela talks about, like you got to be the closest possible to the ground.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, when they think they faint or have seizures, it's just the body's way of going, how do I get them close to the ground? I'll do it this way. Bang. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're not grounding, and they're supposed to be. They didn't listen to the other message. Okay, let's get them down.
Yeah.
So take all the scientific drama off it all and look at it more in a spiritual sense.
Right.
Or a Bible sense. That's how they would look at it in the Bible. And look at it through 4 messages. And then see if in yourself, test in yourself, if it heals you quicker. Because this might be a whole new thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you could sit in any room, any place in at least in this part, this culturally established place, and say how many of you have been diagnosed with something in the past, little while, and everyone or almost everyone would raise their hand. And then how many people are on pills, tablets, or have been for more than a month on a daily basis? Why? Why is there something wrong with all of us? Sorry, you just got me thinking. These are these points that a lot of us don't. By the way, Carmen's here.
I'm always checking, where is he?
Yeah. Carmen, you weren't first this time, Bubba. What's going on?
Guys.
I love that this
guys,
is good.
I have to completely validate. Sorry, Elsa. Yeah, I was just going to say I completely validate all of these. Sorry, you want to finish and then... No, you good?
Yes, Stacey.
I just wanted to say, I just wanted to validate, like, as I sit here now, I've heard a lot of people talking about the tremors, the heart palpitations, and I've been like, cool, feel into it, it's good, let it move through. I haven't had that for such a long time, and probably about an hour before we started, the tremors started.
Yeah.
The tremors, the heart palpitation, I'm sitting in it right now. I can feel my heart, I can feel my hands, and I can understand that from anyone's point of view, that if they're going through it and it's an onset really, really quickly, you think, oh, something's wrong. What is it? Rush me to the emergency, something's happening. I get that, because it is rapid and it can be really scary. Because at the minute, right now, I can feel it pulsing, moving, doing its thing, and it can feel kind of uncontrollable. But as you guys have been talking, I've been breathing through it. As Elsa said, I'm noticing it, witnessing it, and it's a part of whatever's happening today. Dude, I've been through so much today. When you guys can relate and go back to dates, I have to say the other day, because I am so out of whack with 2 weeks ago, a week ago, a month ago. I have to say, yeah, the other day something happened. But you raise this a lot, Pamela, like how much stuff can happen in just one day, or like the week can be a month, or so the activations today. I had deep-rooted daddy issues them from nowhere. Just I've been going about my normal day, doing things that I normally do, and then all of a sudden, and I'm like, whoa, that was rapid.
Wow, yeah.
Why is it coming up at this time? What haven't I released already? I thought I've done this already. I thought I'd done the work in regards to backdated things, but something had to come up, and I had the conversation. I had it within myself, and it's like self-talk, but you kind of have the self-talk within yourself, but it's kind of like I can project the self-talk outwardly. So it's like I can have the conversation who I need to have the conversation with without actually having to pick up the telephone and say, right, I need to say, this is what I need to get out across, without seeing, without causing a drama. I was able to address it, witness it, and move through. So I'm thinking now, because I've done that, that was like a speedy activation, hence why I handed over Pamela my thing that was happening, that came on quite strong. And when we were talking, I released it and gave it to Pamela. Like, I'm really sorry. But I've noticed that my eyes, so I'm seeing things more clearly, speaking it more authentically, even though it didn't come from actually vocalizing to somebody. I actually vocalized it in a form to be transmuted. So please excuse the wobble and everything else. But it's fast, and if you witness it, and I've used that a lot, be the witness. Be the witness to what's happening, and be the witness of the witnesser. And it gets confusing, it's kind of bumbled, but at the same time it's doable.
Yeah.
I take a breath.
Yeah, you know, and it's all about the breath. That's it. Like in the breath there's happiness, in the breath there's joy, in the breath there is the moment. I would like to add this right here. Look, this is cool. Kenny's here. Kenny says, in August, I had a bone shard pass through my eye, laid me out for 10 days. Guides confirmed it was a change of perspective, grounding, and I transmuted for the masses discomfort with the light. Like, this is the kind of stuff that you were talking about with the eye too. You know, like this visual stuff. There's a lot of people talking about different experiences with the eyes and stuff. Like, one of these days I might be able to see if Kenny will come on one of my shows and do a thing. There's another question really quick. So just so we're doing the Trinity show right now. But Todd's not here. Todd's busy. It just, you know, there's a lot going on right now. And I just moved here from Washington State. I'm now in Houston too. And so I'm airing from the studio number 2. And so we're just working really, you know, there's a lot going on with Soulology and the Soulology festival that's happening December 8th, 9th, and 10th. There's like a lot of people coming, more than we know yet. And so it's pretty cool as we see this all develop. So anyway, I just wanted to add that because there's been some more questions about where, and so, right now this is being aired on my platforms, though I will hand over this recording and it will go onto the Soulology network.com platform for later viewing as well as later here. So
can I just bring up, because Stacey had the sore throat first. Yeah. Then you spoke to Pamela and gave her remedies. Is that what you did, or you gave it to her?
I got it. I received her.
Okay.
My throat
Seriously?
started to have a frog in it.
How far apart do you live? Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I'm even farther now.
Okay, so now you're starting to realize that symptoms have nothing to do with airborne, right? This is metaphysical. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if it's metaphysical, it can heal that quickly, right? So this is one thing that happens to me a lot is as a child, I would always have the swollen glands, and they always wanted to, take the tonsils out. I never did, and they were so swollen that I couldn't swallow or anything. As I got older, it stopped being so bad. When I go into fear state or doubt, instantly my glands swell up. I can feel them swell up instantly. And I can hear the old ring that I used to get in my ears, and it's old. It doesn't sound chimey. It sounds dull, like it's got a sock over it or something. It's really odd. It just feels gloomy. Feels like a bell that needs to be polished. Yesterday, I'm here and I start crying out on the chair, and the kids and Richard are being really supportive and bringing out things for me to make me chew or help the node. And I start going into the fear of pain. Instantly, I notice these guys come up and the ring, and I've just gone, no. As soon as I said no and I stopped crying, instantly these went down. So I'm just saying, we are in the practice 1 phase again, the 1-1s till the 11th. Practice this yourselves before you race off anywhere. Just give yourself some space to practice what I'm talking about, because maybe you can do it. If I can do it, I don't have any certificates behind me on this wall. I've just got fairy lights. So, this is actually possible, and they've just proved it, because Stacey said, I'm going to give this to you over the internet to Pamela just to prove a point when we meet up, which we didn't know we were meeting up, to prove a point when we next talk, to be on show for others. So just say everyone around the globe is fully having symptoms at the moment, and then 2% practice this.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, serious? This is groundbreaking stuff, really, because it unpacks the matrix, doesn't it? It makes the matrix spin back on itself. Yeah. I'm excited now.
This is what we've been doing with us, like those of you, we're doing this from my YouTube channel. So this is kind of like, this is in lieu of Soulogy, soulogynetwork.com. However, those of you who are here know that what we do is talk exactly about what Elsa just said. What is going on? Are we all, because see, the longest time there's flu season and those kinds of things, and it's been believed that it's real localized, like it's just happening in your neighborhood. Your kids are always the ones bringing it home from school, and we don't really know where it came from, and then now we're on these platforms where we're speaking globally all over the world, like we could potentially be having Zooms with people up in space and, floating around NASA style, whatever, and the thing is that people are simultaneously having these same symptoms at the same time, or within a very short window of time. Sometimes there's like a day or so delay, though that's still very significant to cover such a wide area and to have such the kind of impacts that we're having. Like all of a sudden, the heart palpitation is one that's easy to identify, though, we'll and so anyway, it's a big deal. I'm going to add something that's off the topic, just simply because I don't want it to get lost. Remember, we were talking, and I don't know if it was live or if it was just a private conversation. I think the 3 of us all were there. I can't remember. Anyway, Maddie had said, my daughter had said that we're going to start to get another cone in our eyes, because there's cones and rods, right, that make the eyes work. And we have 3. And she said, now we're getting 4. She just got 4. It was this whole thing. And now she can see ultraviolet is a big deal. We had a whole conversation. And then here we have Kenny Cusick in the audience here that's been commenting and talking about what had happened with the eye. And then this is the comment. My eyes are excellent, upgraded even, could be the 4 cones. Like, you know, it's like this stuff's happening, people. Like, we're getting upgraded. And so a lot of times when we're having simultaneous ascension symptoms, they're actually upgrades. They're actually things that are assisting us. And Kenny, I'm putting on my email address there. If you would email me and contact me, I'd love to have a further conversation with you, whether it's live or not, if you feel like it. I'm seeing you come around for a while. So anyway, that's on the YouTube live comment there. So this is just something to hold up and say, look at this. A lot of times we think that something not good is happening when we feel in distress. It's not comfortable. However, it's doing something, it's assisting us in some way. We have a lot of dormant DNA that's coming online. And through that, there's a lot of this code. And dude, I'm just going to say it because it's just going to drop right now. X's are freaking everywhere. And this thing about X is driving me batty. And I sent pictures to Elsa and to Stacey. And I'm like, guys, look. And like, there's so much going on about this right now. And so anyway, I'm throwing all these things out there because I have a lot, and I have a lot more I want to say, but I'm not going to because there's like all different topics. So I'm going to let it go back to you all. I think it's going to Elsa now.
So I'm waking up really slowly today, and then the show comes on late, which I was like, oh, wow, thank you, universe, because you knew that I would be slow today. So I thought it was late for the show, but I was early, which was great. The picture that Pamela sent me, I didn't read all the text with it, Pamela, but I saw the picture. This I can't. Yeah. Okay. That's on my head. One of the so for northeast is on my head. So and it's marked me. Mark is cross. Cross is mark. So mark actually means 1. Maddie just said cone, right? So she's been talking about cone for a while. If you draw that on a sphere and put it in the center and you take a piece of the pie, it's a cone. I've been getting right angle since the 3 spin cycle. And this is with a few other really big spiritual people, the exact same days as Todd Nadina, Lisa M. Harrison. She had the same day as me as well back in 2017, the 3 spin cycle and the right angles. It's not right angles. It's the cone.
Right.
So if you draw it on a sphere, you have to think. So we're looking at it. So we're in 3D. We're looking at it in 2D. So everything that Pamela shows, I always make it. You know how Iron Man, he goes like this to his computer, and it comes up really big. So if you took Pamela's drawing there and go make it really big, if you saw the cross mark, it would look like a cone.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So I'm walking around with, I'm a cone head.
And see how they have you draw it. It's drawn. So this is actually an orb in the center here. If you look at how the curves are, and so they're trying to make it be multidimensional. And then these arrows are beings that appeared on the corners of the street. We were directing it in the center of the street and making the flow go. And some of the beings were people. But what was crazy is they were just standing there just doing it too. Like, and for like almost 30 minutes. And
well, that's what spermatosia looks like. When you look at sperm coming to the egg, it looks like an alien invasion. This is the only human race that there ever was. If you look all this up and look up the origin moon, this is the only human race. There is no other. You know, this feeling of getting left behind, get over it, because the only human race is that. The race to the egg, that's it. So when I say the human race is running out of time, it's showing us that there is no time and space. This is where the illnesses and the discord and the disease is. This is no man's land, literally. get out of the way, witness it, and you'll be able to heal really quickly, because we're all able to do this. We've just been kind of turned off for a bit. That's all.
Right.
And instead of this being a hard time, if the pendulum swings one way, it always swings the other. It's up to you. It's waiting for you to make the choice the other way. So it's giving you an opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. Which is what happened to me yesterday. So I'm an example. Stacey's an example, and Pamela's an example on a show to show up to show you our experience.
Ha. You're
So we're
quite the
actors. So we're actor. That's all we are. We are actor, which is plasma intelligence. That's what we are. We are all actors. So we show our act of the plasma intelligence, and then do with it what you wish.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so cool. And like you can say, Elsa, we're testifying because it's happening. Like, as I sit here now, and you ladies have been spinning off your codes, I've been doing my breath work indiscreetly and discreetly. The palpitations have stopped. The shaking has stopped. And I felt it go up, rise, because I noticed it. I witnessed it. I spoke about it, gave it attention, and it left. I felt it go up through my hands, through the jaw, and it went.
Right.
And it was just by witnessing, by taking the breath to it and acknowledging, I know there's nothing wrong here. I know there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I can feel it, and it feels like it's a part of me. It's mine. So what do I do with it? I witness it, I allow it, and it flowed. And it's everything is the flow.
Yeah.
We're always talking about going with the flow, letting it flow. When you say, get out of the way, by getting out of the way, you continue to flow. Because otherwise we block it, hence the blockages. We block it, it doesn't transmute, it doesn't want to leave, and we hold it. If you don't want it, let it go.
Right.
I know you keep trying to spark me to sing, but I'm not going to sing it. Let it go.
I am trying. I keep trying to push it that way.
I'm so excited.
It can be scary, dude.
We will sing that together because all of us are going to be at the Solar Festival. Let's do karaoke. I'm excited together. Like, just do it, right? That'd be so awesome. Karaoke style.
Elsa, you can take the lead.
I'm down right now. It won't work on Zoom. I've tried. You can if you want. Do it. Do it.
It'll be funny because I've never ever thought of it, but can you imagine though karaoke with a bunch of channels?
Dude.
So which planets are present, please?
Who actually knows the words?
We're actually going to do, my daughter and I are going to do sort of a karaoke kind of thing. That's how we're going to sing. We're going to sing a song that is important to us and the one that we use to learn how to make love balls. So it's going to be kind of fun. I don't know how that's going to work if we were allowed to like do covers. Like, I don't know how that works, but we'll figure it out. I did want to point out a comment from Jessica Culligan. She actually said the same thing. She said, I had a soul reading a month or two ago, and she drew a similar picture for me with a cross and energy around it. The same picture that I had just shown. She saw in this, there's something important here. And it has a cross-like nature to it. Like it does. And there's definitely an orb. The center is supposed to be an orb. It has to do with X marks the spot. It has to do with a couple of things. I noticed that there's just been some significant things in my life recently. I'm in Texas all of a sudden. I'm in Texas, and like, and just all this different stuff. I do know that we learned when we were doing this session of healing last night on the land. It's been really fun to do this. Is that while we were sending all of this energy into the center, it was then flowing down in the other directions, the four corners. It went four corners, and there it was an emotion outwardly. And like there's the message for right now is that we're in the time of great transmutation, just as already been mentioned. However, this is just the little hairs that's left. Like really in the grand healing of the things that all of you have done and that all of us have worked through. It's really not that big in contrast. It just feels that way because we've been slowly raising our frequency up higher and higher. And before these things were here, now they feel quite a bit lower when we reach down to them, you know. And so just keeping that in, that's what they're showing, is that everybody's kind of like getting like the blanket, the picnic blanket gets flicked up and the world gets all shifted around, you know, just like Maddie's cartoon that she made, you know, and then everything ends up falling to the blanket and in what seems like a grand mess until you pull up and you see there's a mandala. There's this. There's order and beauty and you know what's exactly supposed to happen at this time. So being gentle with yourself during this time was really, really useful, and taking advantage of these cool times. Right now we're still in the annual thinning of the veil, during a time of the thinning of the veil, you know, and so we're going to have a lot more of these things. I'm bringing this up because over the past 2 days, I've probably talked to about like 30 or 40 different people who are all noticing like little shadowy kind of stuff that's like uncomfortable for them, particularly at night or when they're sleeping. It's just become really, really, really common. And to know that it's just these energies moving out and moving through. And a lot of it is meant to help you by triggering you, a healthy triggering, so you can see these things and so you can see what you can do. And that felt random, but that was something that was supposed to be talked about right then. So I don't remember what we were talking about before, but it had to do with the X, and that was cool. I remember now. Anyway, I think it's Elsa's turn now, though.
So Pamela says Texas, and then she does the cross, and the just hit me. Texas origin is do path us. So do path us is compass. It's compass. This message I have had two sons return for a long time. I have had two sons rest home as well now. This was an unfolding. And the other one that I've had for 20 years is the divine idea now comes to pass. The divine idea now comes to us. The divine idea now comes to us. Idea is very interesting because it's got ear in it. So it's eye to ear. This is where the visions are, imagination. Even if you're blind or deaf, you still have visions and imagination. Deaf people still hear things even though they don't in their visions and dreams.
Right.
The divine idea now comes to pass. This is where we are right now in this spin. If it is extreme this way with the whole things that are going on in the world, that means that it has to have the mirror over here in the other version. It has to have this. So if it has to have this, where's the cross? It's us. The cross. Right. So if you want to go over here, it has to cross within you.
Yeah.
It's funny because even the word cross, I'm really cross.
Right. Angry.
What? No, I am really cross. I am really cross.
Right.
I am really cross. I am the cross. But they've made it a bad thing again, or whoever, or whatever, So the divine idea now comes to pass means we can do this. We really can do this. You do not need a certificate. You just need to give yourself space, like Stacey just did in front of everyone. Yeah.
In
Well,
plain view.
yeah. Well, this is real time. This is what everyone wants to see, right? They want to see it real time. Oh, that didn't really happen. Well, it just did in front of Pamela and I. So, otherwise,
And what else do
Stacey
you
would
do?
have run off to hospital, and then you would have admitted to their way, which is fine if you need that. Because there'll be experiences that happen there. That's fine if you do that. Don't beat yourself up, but the cross is in you.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so true.
Oh, there was one more
And
point
that
to be made. They said 5. They said the X is 5, and I was like, the X is 5, like,
Yeah, well, fifth element.
and
It's
that was
always been 5.
and that's when the center became circular or spherical.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what I got from that? I looked that up, and when I literally wrote what you said, why is the X5? It came that the perfect equation for achieving lasting change. That's what came up. I was like, really? Really? It
That's
answered
what we're
me.
doing right now, right?
I went looking and it answered me. I know, dude. Right now, you for the change. It's that instant station. It always sounds like I don't know, you're asking for grandeur things. I want this instantaneous manifestation. I want to manifest this. I want to yeah, cool. But the practice is witnessing and manifesting instantaneously. What would you like to change instantaneously? Notice, witness, be the change. Make the change. And it's just
And what
looking
better
on the
way than
outside.
Sorry, there's 1 second
No.
delay. I'm so sorry. Well, so
No,
what
that's
can you notice?
technology.
So, so my symptom with the ear, it made me go down. So how do I make a change in moments of pain? And it was like a needle going through my head. But I'm in discomfort. I'm in the biggest pain. How do I make change now? How can I be spiritual or whatever you want to call it now? Well, that's the time, because it's going to empower you. But we're in this mindset that it's going to get worse. I need help. No, you don't. Go in, either just rest and go to sleep, or fixate on it. I think a lot of the spiritual gurus, like Dr. Joe Dispenza, he visualizes the pain. I found this a really good technique, is you visualize where the pain is in your body and you just keep meditating on that spot.
Right.
Until you fall asleep or go into meditation. It does work. That you'll find a way. There is a way in this. It doesn't come up for everyone around the world and our animals for no reason.
Yeah.
It's an upgrade.
Yeah.
And it speaks to you. It actually speaks to you. You know, it has a voice of its own. It may not be audio as like we're talking now, but it has a voice. It does speak to you. So you have to be still in that moment to be able to understand. And thank you, Pamela. I think you've given it back. You've retransferred.
It was funny hearing Elsa get it for a second. Did you notice?
Yeah, I'm
You're
actually
bouncing it.
Yeah, I've got it going back and forth. I keep asking for coffee because I know coffee's got a lot of bad things to it, but coffee actually helps open. The adrenalines in coffee helps open your chest open. So,
I knew it was good for me.
but then you can. I know, there's all different. It just depends where you're at. Really.
I'm back on coffee again.
I love coffee too.
Yeah.
I love coffee. Coffee is my friend.
Yeah.
I admit.
I think I spoke to an hour with Bob about coffee and how much we both loved it with honey in it. It's like our dessert.
Yeah. Manuka honey. I put Manuka honey in my coffee and make it my medicine. I've turned my coffee into a medicine, and I was having this conversation the other day that I can even transmute my coffee. So if I have my coffee in the morning, I can have it to energize myself.
Yeah.
But if I have it in the evening, I can then transmute it and have it as a sleepy drink. I can be asleep within 10 minutes after having a coffee at night.
Right.
And it's a true story. Before I knew how to transmute it, I used to have to say no to coffee in the morning because I'm going back when I was a teenager and trying to find my first job. And I was having like interviews. Like, oh, good morning. We're going to be going. Not if you want me fully alert. Not if you don't want me sleeping on the desk. But I've learned how to transmute coffee, and that is so cool. You know, most people that have like a Horlick or cacao, which is also really, really good. But coffee, I can have that 10 minutes and knocked out. And everyone's like, can you go to sleep? And I'm a lady who likes 2 spoons. I go the whole hog and have it ultra strong because I like to taste the coffee. So dude.
Yeah, even when I was off the coffee, I was making dandelion root coffee, and just it tastes very similar to coffee, and I enjoyed it. You just dry the root, clean it and dry it, and then after a little while, Carmen likes us more on YouTube. He's laughing at us. And then I needed I wanted the caffeine. I like just the exhaustion and stuff. Now it was kind of funny. I took this picture because I was talking to Stacey, so I'm actually going to show it because I think it's hilarious. But like, I'm moving over into this apartment over here in studio number 2 for Sology in Houston, Texas. And anyway, you know, it's mostly set up, and everything's within walking distance, which is great. However, there was no way to make coffee, so I found a way. So what I did is I got a styrofoam cup, and then I see how it's like I put a hole in the bottom of the styrofoam cup, and I poured hot water through the top, and I made myself a cup of coffee. Thank you, because I needed coffee. I was
Dude,
like, I'm a MacGyver when I need to be.
Dude, you crossed the cutlery. I've just noticed you crossed the cutlery.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
That's my head.
That's so cool.
Honestly though, it was really biblical because on my crown, the kids are like, "Mom, your head is gross," because it had blood and pus on my head. So it was really biblical. Like, it was like really biblical. I was like, "Oh, you really on the crown?" Like, and some of this stuff that comes up for us is really in our faces, right?
Yeah.
Like your throat you can't get much more in front of the mirror and camera than your throat, right? Like, or anything here. Yeah. So, can I share, Pamela, this message I got before we came on?
Yeah, please.
It's kind of off topic, but it just shows the magic. So I've been going on a little bit, probably maybe too much, but about when I first met Pamela and Todd. This was a big thing because it was my first open mic. I didn't even actually know what open mic meant, but I saw Pamela talking to Todd, and her smile made me come on, made me feel brave. And I've talked about Pamela being brave a lot. So I come on and I meet Todd, and there was some other lovely ladies on there. This is back in, I think it was 19th of April. About roughly back then, right? So this is my first open mic live on Facebook and stuff. This lady who was on the show with us, I've sort of stayed just in light contact with her because she's so gentle and humble, this lady. Anne just sends me a text. I've been meaning to talk to you, and I wanted to talk to you on a human level, but I haven't had the opportunity, so here goes. I was born in, I think this is what she wrote, I was born in Odensville. I was like, what? And she showed me Odin's Tower. They've got an Odin's Tower there, and it's on the island of Fun.
Wow.
And it's famous because Hans Christian Andersen grew up there as well. Now, he wrote a lot of messages in his stories. You only have to go back and read his books, the original ones, if you can find them. They're full of code. So we got the island of fun. Pamela, who's just fun, being fun for me the whole way through, and Odin's Tower, which they had to take out, by the way. It was too much. They had to blow up Odin's Tower because it's too much. And yeah, the Odin's Tower, you could see over all the lands from this island. It's in Denmark, I think. Yeah. I was just like, are you kidding? So see how this happens?
Yeah.
Like Pamela never mentioned Odin. I don't even know. I don't think. Did you know of Odin back then?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't say anything. I was just I had picked up an old phone, and the when I was doing genealogy, like through one of those websites, and a lot of my family had already done. I come from a Mormon family, an LDS family, which are really well known for keeping their close genealogy done work. So I didn't have to do very much when I joined this group. And anyway, and it said that my 51st great grandfather was Vodun, Lord of the, this big long title. And I had taken a screenshot of it with my phone. Back then, I was pregnant when I was doing this work. That was what I was doing while I was pregnant. I was like, well, let's find out what her gene, whatever, give her something. And then years later, I'm throwing stuff away. I'm like, I still have this old phone. And that was one of the first pictures on there. And I was like, I got to send this to Elsa. And so I sent it to Elsa and like one or two other people. And I was like, by the way, this is my grandpa.
Well, I looked up Odin's Tower, and they say it like you say it, Vodun. Yeah.
Volden. It's actually, there's an L sound to it, like a Volden.
Yeah, that's how they say it. And so I'm in a session this week. I'm going to really sound corny now. You're going to love this one. So I'm in a session on Monday, and she's okay. I've got my bloody crown. Just like I'm okay at this stage. I'm actually able to sit straight, so I feel okay. I'm in this session, and they show me the word love. Now this has to do with Maddie as well. LOVE. Okay, don't look at it as a word anymore. Look at it as purely as building blocks.
Yeah.
L is missing the other angle, the right angle. Then you have O. So we have a square, a circle, a triangle.
Wow.
E. Now add how many parts are missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it becomes the compass. Square. No, it gets more. Ready? Square, circle, V. So we make the building blocks, how we spoke about Trinity. I can see Pamela's had to sit back on this one. I can see it going tick, 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 tick. So then I was talking about how the E has to move all around the compass. And I was thinking of it like a cell or a DNA or an atom. So E was that way, E was this way, E was this way. E is potency and power. That's what E is. So you take the golden compass. Are you getting all this?
He's also 3.
E's the comet, the bookend as well coming. He's going to come again. He's coming. The E3 comet's coming past again. We had him last year. He's got to come back again. He likes us too much, I'm sure. So can you see what I'm saying? Love, even the word love has code in it. It's the building blocks.
What I'm seeing. There's a Norse image. As you're talking, I'm remembering there's a Norse image with the circle and the 4 lines. And then it's like on each line is the E. There's a Norse thing. So you go from Odin into the compass with I don't know what that is, but I'm sure like that's just coded my head with, I can see it. I don't know the translation. So if anybody can if anyone knows what the translation, but it looks like a compass, but it has the E's as you describe. And as you said, you turn the E, then the E, then the E, then the E, and it's on the 4 points.
I have this tree that I keep passing, and I look down on the ground, and there was a T on the ground with the wood, and then I look up at this pine tree, and it's got an E in it. I'm just going, all right, this is funny. So it won't leave me alone, this E tree. And I notice when the hairs on my arms stick up, it's like E. They look like an E. And I started thinking maybe the E is just symbolic for fiber or hair or when you see those patterns that keep going out, mandalas and things like this, they keep going out like receptors. You know how when you look through a microscope and you look at things, they have like a fiber all around them. Bacteria and things, they have a fiber. So maybe
like
the E, feelers, like antennas,
like
yeah.
ants.
This is what happens when you get bitten on the head. You get showed the word
It's a
love.
gateway for more download.
Okay.
There's like a hole for more to come.
I can't find the drawing. It's here somewhere. I came here with suitcases. I left all of my stuff for this mission that we're on right now, and so I have a few things still here, but I can't find this is okay. Yeah, there you go. See that? Whatever. Okay. I kind of tried to draw it again. So we have the circle, the square, and then the triangle, and then it replicates and replicates all the way through. Goes in. I've always noticed that I felt like I wanted to do a line down, like there needed to be a line to cut through. What's really interesting in that with the line down is in a lot of other kind of cultural reference, pop culture, specifically Harry Potter, the 3 hollows. You have the wand that's in the middle, and the triangle is the cloak of invisibility. And there's a third. I don't remember what the third is. There's like, the stone is resurrection stone. There's a circle. And there's always a fourth part missing. There's always one thing missing. And it's like Elsa, her 3, the E, and all of this stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys remember when we were getting that. There was like a green comet. There was a green comet in February or something. It was a little while ago. 3. It was E3. It was E3, and it had like it was this E333, and it was everywhere. It's continued to be everywhere, And what does this all mean? People are asking. This is the thing. What has it's really cool. It's fun to figure. All of the things that we need to know are always right in front of us. And they're presented in media. They're presented in just different forms of everything in the social environment around you. You'll look at demonstrated time and time again, repeating things. And as a younger person, I used to get told, "Oh, there's not." You always see patterns and codes and everything. It's just because you see a pattern there doesn't mean there is. Fast forward, looking back, it's like those were those significant moments that are actually based on what I'm doing right now. Like those really are there. The other point is that there's an understanding that a group of individuals knows, and that the way karma works is that you got to let people know what you're doing, and then they can choose to consent or not. And then you no longer have the karma. People like us, we don't have karma. Karma doesn't exist anymore because there's no use for it for us. There's no balancing of our scales. Karma has to do with this other group. And they, whoever they are, still for a time believed it, which means that they needed to let you know what they were doing by telling you that this technology exists in movies, in books, in sci-fi series and stuff like that. And now the code breakers are all noticing these symbols and seeing how they fit. And that, oh, thank you for this information. Okay, maybe you gave this to me back in 1976, but now we're finally going to use it. So thank you for giving me this piece of information. And so that's what we're doing, is we're going, okay, now we're seeing all the codes and seeing how they align to this now moment. All of this activation has been an annual thing that usually typically starts to tick around February. However, this particular February 2023, has been bam and bam, 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 all the way through. And we're just not stopping. Evolution marker points, Jeanette says, yeah. And so there's all this stuff that we can look around and find and see the important code for. Having said all of that, and always wanting to consider that code comes through the way it's supposed to, I'm going to show 2 things that popped out while I was trying to look for something. I found this very fascinating. I didn't know this made its way all the way from Washington State to, however, I found so you all know that as a child, I was this individual who's trafficked and all that kind of stuff going on. And I found a picture of me hanging out. This is cool. This is good myself. I found the Xerox machine in the Microsoft building when I was 11. That's me when I'm 11 at the Microsoft building, cramming my face against the Xerox machine. So isn't that hilarious? So I didn't know that made its way all the way to Houston, Texas, but here we are.
That's so cool. Fun time with Pamela. That is so funny.
I was still laughing. I didn't care.
That is so funny. I really want to interject, dude. I really, really want to say something because I know this is going to make Elsa go, woo. Did she know about the lizard? The lizard. And when I was talking about the
I haven't had a chance to talk to Elsa for days, over a week now. I've been trying to talk to her.
The lizard, dude, is just coming up completely. And once we were talking about the coffee, and then I started the transmutation of coffee and what it does, I was like, oh, and then the it went, and I was like, oh no, the lizard. The lizard wizard is back, Elsa. The lizard is again, it's around.
So the lizard is very, I can't get into it. I can't. Oh, are you still talking? Because I'll turn off. Sorry.
She has a delay. Stacey has a delay.
Of course.
Oh, okay. So the lizard first came to me a year ago where I'm sitting. And it started with the coffee. It was a coffee connection with this lizard. Just,
no way.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could say it because it's so funny. Yeah, so the fact that you're now connected, and this is what I bombarded. So that night that Pamela said she's having a two-way conversation, she's having one with me and one with Stacey. So Pamela's, streaming,
yeah.
And Stacey's saying the same thing as I am, and we're bombarding Pamela, and Pamela's like having to go between the two.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, but this is about, to me, it was about the lizard, and of course it's Odin in there. He can't get left out. So I can't talk anymore about the lizard because it's just it affects a lot of other people. So in respect for but you got, because you had brother lizard, right?
Yeah. There's been and Wave Dreamer says there's a great band called King Gizzard the Lizard Wizard. I love that.
Whoa.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Wave Dreamer. That's cool. Yeah, so lizard, I had never had lizard come to me before. Like, I mean, I lived in the north. Like, people noticed that I moved when no one shoveled the snow last Monday. And here I am in shorts and a t-shirt, but it's raining here, actually. I'm kind of excited to know what Houston rain's going to be like. I love the rain, too. I love weather. Anyway, so there's lizards here, and they're coming up. And the way that they approach is they are nodding in agreement. I don't know about approach, but I noticed them, and they're like, yep, 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 yep. So I'm like, I got to look this guy up. I typically go to my book, and this is my Native American medicine totem, animal medicine, the totem. And I didn't have it with me, so I decided to use my phone. You could also look it up on any internet search engine. Just say, what is the totem of lizard or whatever. The one that came up for me, that's always the top one. The one below the sponsored one is always the one that is meant to be a message for me. And I clicked it, and it said, and again, no accidents, right? I tried to scroll past a commercial or an ad of some kind, and my phone went bzzz all the way to the bottom. And so I didn't actually read the whole. All I saw, it was the quotations that says, "Lizard says, speak your truth and be liberated!" Exclamation point. End quote. And I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Like, and this happened. I'm at the Soulology hub. Like, I'm in Todd Medina's backyard when this happened. Like, literally, like, I'm chilling out. Like, I can hear him in the studio through the window. He's making music in there. I could hear it. And then here I was in Brother Lizard's like, "Speak your truth, man. Be liberated." I'm like, this is such a Todd energy, right? And they just start coming around more and more and more. Lizards everywhere. Lizard's master of dreaming. What is dreaming? We're dreaming. That's why we're waking up. We're waking out of this dream, the avatar that we are. Tar that we are. There's so much. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Every time that happens, I get stuck because there's something. The rhymes end up being the message because, guys, remember I'm here in Houston, Texas, because I got this message that said to do it. Well, part of that was nothing treasured, nothing lost. This could come at quite the cost. That's why I relinquished all of my belongings. And when I did that, the healing happened. So I was rambling a long time there, but the lizard's been really, really cool. Lizard, wizard, it seems like the same thing. Charmony's here. She says, "Wow, lizard says, speak your truth and be liberated, free, free, free." Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're all doing right now. So anyway, what else about lizards? There was something else.
Right?
Oh, yes.
The regeneration. You're welcome.
The regeneration of lizard. Thank you. I got really excited and got distracted. So the idea, the other point of lizard is that they can lose an entire leg, an arm. They can lose large parts of their body and regenerate, grow it back, which is what you're doing right now, which a lot of us are doing right now. One of those things that a lot of us have been hearing over and over again in ourselves before we start hearing it on the outside, I've noticed too, is that we're regenerating in this way of we're growing, kind of, you could call it, we're growing younger, like not like to the point of infancy and like all that kind of thing, those movies that you see, but like we're becoming healthier, more balanced, more in alignment. And we're noticing that some of these things that we used to declare a diagnosis for, medication, maybe even surgeries and things like that, we're healing them. And then we're finding ourselves regenerating just like Brother Lizard in a lot of ways, where all of a sudden, whole body dis-ease is liberated over by using castor oil, and they were saying you have whole body cancer, get in here for chemo, those types of things. These things are really happening full on. So yeah, and as we activate this dormant DNA, then we have more access to all the parts that help this balancing happen. So I think it's part and parcel to that as well.
So the lizard came to us. He sacrificed himself on the Matrix with his tail up. Very odd way for this lizard to die. It's not a normal... He was out of his realms. It's not his native land. And his tail was up. And I said, I got to check this out, Pamela, because it means something. I'll check it out. And of course, it's Odin's dragon. Odin's dragon is about rebirth. His name I can't say because it's one of those Celtic names, Nork, and you got to do the gurgling when you say it. I don't want to start coughing. But anyway, I was reading and it's got great darkness to it. And I always go, ooh, because I know when there's darkness, they like what Pamela just said, the tar gets you stuck. Because this is what tar does. It gets you stuck. Why does it get you stuck? I was asking you to pause with it. Pause with the energy of the dark so that you can see the new light. And this is what this time with the lizard is. The 10th of Feb is the dragon. I'm going to cough, sorry.
They're good. I've been coughing a lot too lately. I've been noticing there's been a lot of coughing.
I can't find my mute button because I'm on my phone, but I can feel that too. And that's when the throat acts. It's the cough, the transmutation of the cough. And then you
It's
clear
the
it and you're back. I know, I'm with saccharin water today. I know. I wasn't prepared.
So it's the cough, right? So we talk of it coming, because we've been talking about it comes up because it doesn't serve us anymore. It just doesn't serve us anymore.
Oh, we know we should talk about something. I'm so sorry, Elsa. Go ahead. Dude, this has come up a bunch of times, and I keep forgetting to tell it. Elsa brought it up first. She said, Hans Christian Andersen. Okay, here's my code. This is Pamela code that happened in the world of Maddie and Pamela, and nobody else lives here for a while. Hans Christian Andersen. And I knew that the movie Frozen was important. By the way, Elsa's here. Let it go. So there's a lot about this particular thing. And Hans, Kristoff, Anna, Sven. Those are the characters in Frozen. Hans, Kristoff, Anna, Sven. Hans Christian Andersen. And yeah.
I forgot it was him.
Yeah. 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 And so Jessica Callaghan had just written, Hans Christian Andersen's house is in the city of Odense on the island of Funen, Odense. Yes.
Yeah, that's where Anne, who was met Pamela and I on the first show. So now you're seeing in live, because it only happened 5 minutes before we came on, Anne shares with us, by the way, when I first met you all back on the 19th of April 2022, this is where she's from.
Yeah.
She's from the land of Odin.
Right.
Wow.
So you see these big circles. So, and then I always laugh because I always think of Austin Powers, but what does it mean, Basil? Like, what does it all mean? And it means you work out where language is coming from. You're working out the silliness of it has been.
Yeah.
And that it's not just you that has the great pain or the deceit or the mistrust in what's going on. It's all of us.
Yeah.
So you step out the way, you allow it to echo out, and you come in and you get stuck with the whatever's going on in you, and you unanchor it.
Anne's
and
here.
Instead of it,
is this the same Anne?
Yeah, there she is. She's so. I asked her if I could share because I said this is going to be huge for Pamela.
Oh, thank you.
So once you unanchor, the anchor becomes your shaft, the shepherd. It's the same shape. It's the hook. The hook actually becomes what helps you through. What steers the path. But like with the pyramids, you have to debrief.
Yes.
Correct? The Trinity. Yeah. You have to debrief this to unanchor the memories. The memories are only memories. They're not meant to be worn. They're not your cloak of invisibility.
Oh my
you
God,
have to
Elsa.
become united. You have to take off the knighthood. Getting all this? You have to take off the knighthood off your helm. So you become overwhelmed because you've taken off your hood and now all this energy is coming into the crown. You might get a triangle on your head, but it's okay being a cone head for a moment. You unhood and you unite.
Dude.
And now I don't need to cough.
Dude.
Now you need to cough.
I'm a bit hot though.
You just made me fluster. Oh my gosh. I just want to quickly share with Elsa, just quickly, Pamela. Do you remember the incident that happened this week when I was in the bath, getting a bit personal now, and I unanchored. I've been wearing an ankh for like the past 2.5 years. And I'm telling you, the clasp is solid. I've worn it for so long that I know this like one of my own limbs. It's a good chain. And I'd finished my release, about to get out the bar, and I feel something at the bottom of the bar. And I wear anklets, and I think, oh, it's just a cheap anklet that I'm wearing. It's not. Dude, I check my ankles. They're both there. I check underneath my knee, and my ankle has removed itself from my neck. It's unclipped, and it's in the bar. And I'm taking it out, and I'm like, dude, I'm not supposed to wear this anymore. I've been unanked.
Wow.
Unanked. And you're saying, take the cloak off. I'm like, oh, dude, just that was just so much code in that. Because I was going to Pamela, it's not broken. The clasp is not broken. The clasp is fine. And I'm tugging the thing. I've done it back again, and I'm tugging it, and I'm saying, there's no way physically this came off. I've been unanked.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa, literally that whole entire sentence or the paragraph that you just said, I was just like, dude. And as I was holding it, it was literally like, you no longer need to wear this.
Yeah.
You know, because it became like an identification. Like I wear the ankh, and not like a protection. It wasn't like a protection. I don't wear things for protection or things like that. I wear them because I like them, but it became a part of my identification.
Yeah.
And it was like spirit removed it and said, you no longer need to identify with something to be a thing.
Yeah.
And it removed itself. And I was just like, wow. In the bar, of all places, you know, just
the water,
the release of everything. And I was just like, wow, that was so phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, seeing the magic in all things. You know, before I'd be like, oh, I must have, I know for a fact that there was no way this thing came off my neck. It wouldn't have been the first thing that I would have thought came off. So thank you, Elsa.
Yeah.
For all of that.
Well, Toot's tune is the ankh. It's a mirror. It's always been a mirror. The ankh has always been a mirror to hold, hand held. It's not to wear. And you just made this really important for me to hear. So thank you, because you're only meant to hold it as a tool. You're not meant to wear it as a hood over you. So it was just a point of reflection, and still is.
Point.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to bring up, so before I come on, I look at Pamela's high vibration site, and I'm positive, because I only got a quick flash and then this came on the other stream. You've got like a web or something behind you. Is this correct? It's like a black web on your I'm positive I saw it on yours. It was a vine. Looks like a vine. And divine idea now comes to pass. I never thought of divine as being too vine. It's so it's 1-1, so it's Odin. So Odin is 1-1. So C act vine. So it's divine idea now comes to pass. I'm sort of mashing all the information in today in all one message. These words, by the way, were written by a lady called Flossie, and Anne's name. Yeah, just
Yeah.
And so, as a child, I would do a puppet show for the kids in school, and we used to watch this show, which was an English show called The Famous Five. And I used to love the girl Anne on it. So I would go as Anne on the puppet show, and I'd have this puppet show and people could write in their messages. So it was kind of like Pamela's show, but in a kid's form. And they could send in Q&A to this sock puppet and Anne. But I wasn't Anne, I was Elsa, right? But I loved the name Anne. So when I got this message from Anne today, and then the whole 5 thing from Maddie and Pamela, I was like, wow, this is how we kind of marry all these connections in, and then you start spinning them and seeing how you can use it as a tool for your next steps.
Right.
And the confirmations from each other and what we've had physically now happen in real time are just more confirmations for others. So the vine can now network out, like the delta, the vine, the grapevine. You know how they sing this song? I heard it on the grapevine.
Yes.
Is it this? Is it this you're talking about?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is
Whoa.
Odin's tree. This is roots. And see how the
Wow.
roots are going away? The roots are going away. Our root chakra is actually leaving us, or in a lot of ways right now. We're not going to need that stuff. What it means to be in the root chakra is a better way of saying it. This is this is channeled that I've been getting for over a month. I don't know how long. I'll have to look back to find out. But that's for the month of November. It has to do with DNA, the strand of DNA. Elsa and Stacey will probably remember, because I'm sure I remember talking to you about watching that show when Todd was in Sedona. We were doing a Trinity show. It was the one that I telepathically heard what he didn't want to say. That one. And then later on, he was like, "Well, yeah, I didn't say that." Anyway, that particular conversation, Todd had gotten he had sat back in his chair for a long time, and he was getting activated because Mother Mary came in. When Mother Mary came in, she brought in this. It looked like white gold DNA coding. This is the ribbon that I got later on. There's a lot of symbols about this right now, and what they're trying to show us. Yes, it's divine. This is the right wording. Yeah, you're right. I feel that when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, I knew that. How did I not know that? But now I know that. When did I not know that? Because I know that. Anyway, so what does it mean to be in the root chakra? This is the important part. Okay, that's where security is. And look around at the fear, love, blah blah blah, all the stuff that's going on out there. Fill in the blank is what I mean by blah blah blah. Page 333 right now. Is that all of this has to do with realizing that we live in an abundant world, that everything is actually truly free. There is no reason for us to work to support our security. We are secure. There is no such thing as insecurity. It's the greatest ruse of them all. What else is in the root chakra? It has to do with, I think that a lot of people are thinking that connecting in a romantic, intimate way is leaving with this, but I don't think that's true. I think that the way that an individual will connect will be different, and it'll be more balanced and more healthy. All of these kinds of things. That's what this time is for. So November is 100% looking at your root so you can say goodbye to it. A lot of us feel like this dangly root thing. That's what it feels like for me. While the light's shining on it, you're just like, whoa, dude, where the freak is gravity at? And it just kind of feels really disorienting and stuff. A lot of vertigo kind of stuff is associated with this. So a lot of us are having this. And yeah, Jessica Callaghan also says it looks like DNA. So does Jeanette. It's the shedding of the skin.
Yeah, to me it looks like they're going,
Yeah.
you're upside down, so you got to spin it again, like her knee. So I've just gone like this to your picture, like this, make it go the angle on my head, cone head. So, and you just said no, that way, make it go that way.
Like sideways.
Yeah. So the roots are going to the right. It's like the fish, the Jesus fish. So it's an open, you said fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks is the word information. Information is an idea. That's it. It's
Right.
someone's theory. But we hear the word information as it's law. It's not law. It's just someone's idea, and there can be many versions of information. And people will say, "Oh, is that scientific information?" You go, "Yeah, man, that's someone's theories, or multiple theories mashed together, and they pick out the best parts." Information. So, the word information, you have two versions of it. You have from and form. Form is fill in the blanks.
Okay.
And usually when you fill in the blanks, it's from someone else schooling or someone with a certificate. So this is where we have to change it. We have to say, instead of it coming to fill in the blanks, we're saying we're coming from. So from and form, the two words that are the same, that they're flipped on us, are or, which is a tool, which is your gift, right? Your tool. So you can accept information if it resonates with you, or you can collect from the divine.
Right.
Like upside down lizards, cone heads, coughing around the globe. This feels better to me, hearing this, than that. So I have to follow what feels good, because if I don't, it just feels worse. So if it's feeling worse for you, maybe you need to get stuck for a minute and feel this, because this does feel so much better. I feel amazing right now. Thank you.
Thank
Me
you.
too. Thank
We're in a rapid, everything's perfect. Everything's awesome. This is a party. Like, you know, we're here. And I know it feels weird. You know, with the sensation I've been getting. So like if this is my head, this is the back of my head right here. And it feels like this is the back of my head getting pushed up. Like I'm getting taller and taller. Like it's weird. And here's the thing. Check this out. All my life, I've wondered. I've always thought to myself, humans don't belong on Earth. If we belonged on Earth, then gravity wouldn't affect our backs in such a negative way. Guess what? Our back and the gravity stuff is associated with this root chakra. And so a lot of people, like it's a thing. Like you could have previously pretty much expect that if you get to a certain age, it will affect your vision and it will affect your back, if nothing else. That's just kind of been a thing. Well, that's changing. And so people who already have a pre-existing back condition are noticing right now more stuff. I've heard people mention it, as well as just kind of had an understanding of it. So we are doing rapid healing right now. Like Vesper says here, the scars I've had for decades or more have faded seemingly overnight. My partner twin noticed it too. Like these types of healings that we're doing these things, you know. And this is a cool comment too, really quickly. Jessica says lighter gravity would allow us to be taller, and I've always seen us as much taller, always. And what's fascinating is Elsa and I had a little private conversation recently, and that observation that I've made over the years is that most starseeds, most of the people who join us on these Zoom meetings and stuff that we do, tend to be below average height, anywhere between under 5 feet tall and like 5'5" is about the height of like I'm gonna be considered a giant to some people that like they think I'm so short. I'm not. I'm short. I'm 5'7", you know. And so, but isn't that fascinating though? On average, most of us tend to be typically quite a bit shorter due to likely this thing we just highlighted. So anyway, I found that fascinating. I was funny.
I was just going to say, I'm one of the short ones. I'm going to be, because on this level, we're all the same height. So it looks like we're all the same size.
Yeah.
So you're going to be considerably shocked at how short I am. Everyone goes, especially my daughter, she's 13. And she always goes, oh, my little mum. My little mum, because she has outgrown me. She's already above my head. So now I'm the little mum. And I can see my children are growing. Their limbs are growing. So I'm seeing the effect in my children, the new, you know, the ones that are bringing the light in, they're bringing the height in. You know, yeah, I'm going to be one of the shorties.
That's fascinating. So Dr. Joe's here, and he says more levity, less gravity. Hi, Hi, Dr.
So can we, so coming through this phase now, because we're coming up to this spin cycle, the middle of it, and tapping into this power of it for you, not for me, for everyone, right? This Soulology Fest, I keep seeing that this family of Soulology is being prepared for a decade with Todd. So you've all been, I mean, I'm a latecomer in it, but they've all been preparing and building each other up, supporting each other. This Soulology Fest I see as for the others. So you have, I do understand it's a family coming together and it's going to be fun, and it will be, but it's a show for the others.
Yeah.
And this is important to understand, so that when you go to Soulology, you're understanding that in some way you are going to be assisting others. And this is really important, because I keep getting shown anything that isn't for the highest of good for all will just dissolve.
Yeah.
And it's happening. So just let that go and keep going this way. Now, myself, a lot of people send me messages at the moment. When are you going? What dates will you be there? And I just want to say it publicly. So, because now you're all my witness, is that we are planning to go. We were not planning to go. And then we have let go of this way of thinking and just went, yeah, I actually do see myself there. I see Gigi there and my other daughter, Gemma.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're getting there, but we have planned to go. So now the magic begins. So I have to step out of the matrix of it and allow the divine to come in. So instead of being information, waiting for information, I have to be from.
Right.
If I'm meant to be there, I will. If I'm not, I'm not. So that's how it will just unfold.
Huh.
It will
I love
just
how you do
unfold.
that.
I don't know how.
Information and then from formation. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I never thought about that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I'm just changing the or around. So instead of it being this side of the boat, the or, I'm going, okay, well, I don't need to be informed. I will wait from the divine,
Right.
because my law is LORE, from the cosmos. My law is not LAW, which means to lie down and wait for it. I've done a lot of waiting. I don't need to wait anymore. That's not me. This is me. So I'm ready for from.
Right.
So I'm just
Wow.
saying to
That's
others,
beautiful.
if you're feeling this, like, I don't have any money and I've got to do this and I got to do that and I'll be really busy and it's Christmas time and then I think it's Thanksgiving as well. You got all these holidays. But if you feel maybe that's meant to just dissolve a little bit and maybe you are meant to go. This is what I'm just saying. So there's no rules. And this is what's very confusing to the humans. This new way has no rules. It's not played the same way. You cannot plan the same way. If you're doing it the old way, that's probably why it's not working. You have to do it like you have to listen to Brother Lizard.
Right.
He's got the info for you because it's from. He's not preaching it. He's just sharing it with you. There's a difference of someone telling you something so that they have control rather than giving it to you as a gift. There's a difference.
Mhm.
So you got to decipher. You got to come within your cross and work out where's this information from. Is it being told to me to make me feel old and weighted, or is it from? So,
Right.
it's the Elsa spiel.
That was beautiful, Elsa. That was beautiful.
I'm going to jump in really quickly and then I'm going to give it to Stacey. I was going to point out real quickly. So I put up here, it's in the comments. And I also posted up here, if you're interested in joining us at the Soulology festivals, it's going to be really amazing. December 8th, 9th, and 10th. All of us are going to be there. Stacey's coming too. Stacey's coming from the UK. Elsa and Co are coming from Australia. I'm already here in Houston. I just trekked down from Washington State to see this cool, awesome rain. Their rain's a lot more intense here than we get. We get more light rain. This is pretty neat. And so if you are interested, go to this website, and this is where you can purchase your tickets. There is going to be so much going on, and there's a lot of presenters. Everybody's a star. Everybody gets a chance to speak. It's going to be really cool. As far as everybody, all the people that I hang out with and talk to, as far as I can tell, are going to be there either in physical form. There's also virtual tickets available. So, and then to point out something, one more last thing before I give it to you, Stacey, is Kenny, I give you the wrong email address. I added an R, and so I posted it again. I had to change my email address to have an 8 in it because I made my own email and then I forgot, I couldn't get back in it, and so I had to make a new one anyway. So there it is. I'm writing it that right now. So please, if you would please forward that email you had sent to me to this email address that I posted up here. I would appreciate it. And Stacey, did you have something you'd like to share?
Yeah, what Elsa just said was really deep, and it meant a lot to me because it was something I had to do myself. Literally, I gave it over to spirit. I was like, I want to go. I really want to be there. And there was a position of time where I was like, physically, it didn't look like it was happening. But like you, Elsa, I saw myself with you guys. Yeah. I saw it already played forward. And it's just the message of, if you get the calling, listen and answer it. Because, dude, you're getting the call. You're not picking up the phone. This is like the divine call. Can it get any cooler? Can it get any more it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And how you put it was so deeply worded and so in touch with my own soul, because I literally had to just say, source for me. And I really want to go. I really, really want to go. But I will move out of my own way. And if it's meant to be, it will be. And dude, I keep telling everybody, this is the biggest thing I've done since I've had my children. And I am so excited. And I'm just excited because I feel just the calling, and I don't know, there's just this feeling that I know that something amazing is being drawn to this right now. There's a massive energy that is calling for all those that want to feel and to have the experience. It's happening. And it's happening in such a way that is so undeniable. We're sitting here and we're joking about the codes and things, but these things are real. These are being put in our face to show us that all these things that we think sound crazy to the person that isn't listening, the people that don't have the ears to hear or the eyes to see, to them it would be woo-woo. That terminology is out there, but to us it's real. So when we see these codes and we acknowledge them, we can bounce off each other and say, did you see this? Did you see that? We're all interconnecting and making it happen. We're the ones that are making it happen because we're being given this magic. And this is the magic. If you've been looking for it, you found it, because it's really here. And it's just, dude, there's so many emotions that ride through me when I feel that it's so real. It's so real. And yeah, I just felt the vibration, Elsa, when you were talking just then. It triggered a lot of emotion in me because the calling is here. It's real. And yeah, man, so I feel really, really blessed, super blessed. Oh, and guys, yeah, dude,
we're
real.
Here.
Yeah, man,
we're really here.
We really are.
Yes. And it's just gonna get better, just right now it doesn't feel very comfortable for some people, but tap it in with us, tap into this energy, watch us again,
Dude,
all you got to do is tap into people.
How much
Yeah.
discomfort have we had within this one chat? I've been holding the cough. I've been, every now and again, my voice is in, my voice is out. I've been through tremors.
Yeah.
I've been through heart palpitations, and it's live. We're going through it, and it's real.
Yeah.
And we're acknowledging that these things are real, and it is happening to everybody. So it's just a call, you know, like Elsa said, from sort of saying, just acknowledge it, guys, and it is real, and it's okay. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like feel it, and it does become fun. Pamela used to say before, like, yay, this is so much fun. And people are like, are you for real? Do you know this is
Yeah.
hurting? Do you know this is hurting? She's like, yeah, dude, it's hurting for me too, but it's so much fun. And everyone's like, what? But I
Yeah.
get it. And eventually, if you play with it, you'll get it too.
Yeah. You know, I always say this is fun, or this the fun part is because it is like you're it's fun because I know I've done it, and I know that this is what it feels like, and then I'm right. You know, it's not, we're all right. It's not like I don't have to be right. I'm wrong a lot, by the way. Like, it's okay with being wrong, and it's okay to say that you're wrong. Like, I don't know where that ever came from. Like, I'm wrong. So, whoops. I used to say, whoops, I lied. Like, I didn't lie on purpose. It wasn't like me saying I'm gonna lie. But if I'm wrong about something, I'm gonna say it. I don't say those words anymore because that just felt icky. But anyway, so yeah, we're in it. It's about like Diamond Heart 88 just said, and Charmony said, you know, just play. It's about play. Right now, when you can, how you can, where you can, play. Play, 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 play.
That's where
You know,
Odin's Island is. Fun.
Right.
That's what
Exactly.
So can I say one more? I have to say, I know,
Yes,
we're wrapping
please.
up. So four fathers. So four fathers is 4, 1. And so four fathers is 5, right? So
Yeah.
so four fathers is, when you actually break it down, is beyond. So, but to me, I always understood forefathers as the past, but it's not. It's all of it. So you have the 4 and then the 1. So you have the compass and then the 1. So you see how it keeps coming back to it's not counting. It's not counting.
Right.
It's before. It's being 4. It's before. But
Right.
it's very confusing because it does turn my brain into spaghetti, because it does make you do this with time. And I think it's meant to. And it's meant to feel a little bit uncomfortable because it's the new. You haven't done this before. That's why it's uncomfortable. When an animal goes to new grounds, like if we take our horse to a new spot, horse doesn't run around all confident. It stays
Right.
back. It's a little bit stuck behind in the shadows, and it watches what goes on so that it's safe. So it's comfortable. It doesn't run around like with its tail in the air. It's a little uncomfortable because it's new grounds. So this uncomfortable feeling, if you're feeling this, that's okay. It's okay. I was uncomfortable before I came on. And then I speak to these two, and now I'm going to be buzzing all day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's why we gather. You know, that is why we gather. Like Todd's always saying, when 2 or more gather. I feel like 3 is the you know, though 2 for sure too. Like, I mean, how many conversations have I had with just Elsa or just Stacey or just, you know, that have been, it doesn't just, but you know, like only 2 individuals, and it's been really, really, really activating and important. We are in a time of fun and for play, and also giving yourself the ability to you just be gentle with yourself. You're gonna need a little extra time when you're going through densities. You know, like, it's okay to cancel plans. It's okay to say not today. It's okay, you know. And so while you're in this, just, you know, take care of yourself. The need for more hydration right now is really big due to the spine, the stuff that's happening with our spine right now. Drinking more water is a big deal, and in particular, I've noticed the need to like have a couple of grains of salt under the tongue when you're drinking this water. You know, not every single time, This will help. There you go. Elsa's got her tincture out.
That's my castor oil. We've been having to rub this in our eyes so much, and
Right.
massaging our face with it, because
Mhm.
it's all here. I feel it's all here, and the kids have showed me massaging it into your face really makes it feel better. It feels really
idea.
Rub it
gooey
through my
because
hair.
castor oil's thick, yeah. But then it absorbs that quite quickly. So
I've been
Yeah,
having a
been
lot
doing
of
it
like
myself.
outbreak, so I wonder if that it's not real outbreak. It's not like, but it's not like real acne. It's these pustules or something of toxins that leave our body. I wonder if the castor oil assists that. I bet it does.
yeah, they say it breaks cysts down. So we've been putting it on the animal cysts as well. So, but the kids have showed me to massage it in quite hard, like make
Okay.
funny, and that's really helped a lot, especially because I've been trying to drain the lymph. This cone head. Sorry, I laugh every time I see it now because Maddie's made me realize it's a cone head.
Dude. Okay, got to jump in again. Sorry, guys. I know Stacey, Jessica Callaghan. Jessica, why don't you send me? I don't know. Let's have a conversation. I have my email in here. But she just said something else. I just looked up the flag of Funen, Denmark. It shows your picture, Pamela, of the cross.
Oh.
Funen, Denmark. Seriously, you cannot make this stuff up. This, as a lot of you know, Odin comes from this Norse world. Denmark is considered connected to this. There was a time that I recall where Denmark was connected perfectly to Sweden. There was a channelway, and it was one big mass. I remember this happening, and it's interesting now because there's this huge feud going on between those countries. So if some people from those countries might be offended, I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone. However, this is a thing.
So Denmark, are we? So see what you've done, Anne. This is what happens. So
Yeah.
Denmark comes back to Pamela's drawing again. Den is home, home, the original first noise from humans. It's also home within us. It's a
Right.
form of meditation. Home is where the heart is. It's right where it's in your belly. Home, because it goes down there when you say it. Home mark. Are you kidding me? Home mark.
Wow.
Whoa.
Anne started
That's
this
so
one,
deep.
but I didn't start this one. She started. She started the rabbit hole today, not me.
That's so cool.
You can't make this stuff up. This is when I first met them.
No.
This is where I first met Pamela. I met Stacey through Pamela. Yeah, you cannot make this up. This is before us.
I think we're all pretty new to Soulology, actually. I think the three of us, we're surprisingly part of this Soulology family, which is beautiful and lovely. It's kind of funny to step out and realize all three of us kind of came on the scene the same time together. It's kind of cool just to look back and see those moments.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, guys. I love being in your space. Thank you so much. I really do.
I have to show one more thing because it fell out. I was cleaning it. I was getting rid of papers, and I had lots of boxes of drawings and stuff. Apparently, my mom kept every drawing I ever did since I was 2. And so I went through every one of them in a healing before I came to Houston. Anyway, I had a lot of lovely clients when I worked in social work, people with varying disabilities. And there was this lovely man named Bob, and he used to draw me things all the time. And I loved him. I still love him. I just haven't, it's been a while. I still have a drawing that he did. His name is Bob. And I thought it was really, it actually goes this way, but I'm going to fit it so you can see better. But isn't that fun that this is so much like our Bob in its own way? And his name is Bob. This man had a traumatic brain injury because a train had hit him, and he started to be able to communicate through color and shape. And we had telepathic conversations all the time. That's why I was paired with so many people, is a lot of them had speech impediments that no one can understand. and I could feel what they meant, and they just thought that was, anyway. So lovely man. I just want to say hello to Bob if he's out there anywhere.
It looks like colorful people, dude. That looks like colorful people all going to one place.
Yeah.
So we all have to get like a Bob, because Bob's brilliant. He's amazing. So he sent me all these pictures of he sent me these pictures that he had drawn of 2 arrows this way. I'll probably add them in the next episode of him. And then the last one he just sent me was it's like the Iron Man thing I said, where it just went bang and it all fragments out. It's all connected by one line, but all fragmented out. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how we're all feeling right now. And see, these bobs, they hold great power.
Yeah,
it's a Bob thing.
Fascinating enough, my best friend for many years was named Bob, and he died on my daughter's birthday, but it was 2009. She was born in 2014, the same day that he died. It's really fascinating. This thing with Bob, and the piece of whoever is in my hand when I shattered my hand when I was a teenager, they had to put a piece of somebody in my hand right here to keep my hand working, like another person's bone. And I named that Bob back then too. Bob has just been Bob. Bob's important. Bob's a sacred, silent guardian. That's what Bob means.
I'm asking for a Bob now. I want a Bob.
The Bobs of the world. Well, does anyone want to share anything else before we close up?
Oh, yes, I feel blessed. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Stacey. Yeah.
Thank you, Elsa.
Thank you. This has been so much fun.
Thank you, Todd, for Soulology too. Thank you.
Yeah, sending you love, all of you. And if you want to join us, guys, come on down to Houston, Texas. We're coming down. We're a lot of people are coming down earlier. I'm already here, man. People have been moving through. It's been so much fun to connect to individuals. Jumping on, doing like a live with Todd. I've seen a couple coming through there. It's been pretty neat. That's going to accelerate. We're going to start. People are coming as early as December to stay through the festival. The festival starts is the 8th, 9th, and 10th. And I'm going to put that link up. It's already in the chat. But if you want to, it won't let me do it. It keeps going back down because people are commenting. Well, let me do it. There we go. Okay, so if you are interested in joining the festival, there's the link right there at www.soulogynetwork.com/SoulogyFest 2023. What is that little line in the middle? I don't know what that's called. That little. Anyway, and we'll see you there. All 3 of us are coming. There's gonna be so many people. It's gonna be so much fun. We love you. Just keep doing you. Know that what you're doing right now is exactly what you need to do. Take rest. Allow yourself to be okay. You don't have to do anything right now. Whatever's in front of you, that's what's to do. And all things will just fall into alignment. So I love you. Thank you for coming, all of you. You're so beautiful. I love my girls. And I love all of you. I feel weird closing it. I'm waiting for Todd to say something. But thank you, Todd. Thank you all. I love you all. And I will see you next week. Aho blessing.